I'm Will Rhode. I'm the Director of Fixed Income Research at TABB Group. I'm joined by Olesky, CEO of Tradeweb. Lee, thanks so much for a terrific event. Thanks for your support. We were just talking just now about this being the year where the rubber hits the road. What do you expect?
Well, I do think this year is going to be quite interesting. We have literally a month from now what I would call the Big Bang in terms of SEFs.
Ruled on today.
Ruled on today, so it's perfect timing with the conference today. And a month from now, we will see activity change because under the rule, anyone who's trading a certain segment of the derivative market as an institution will have to go through a SEF.
Yep.
And that's a big sea change. I mean, we've been in the derivative space now for since 2005, and even at Tradeweb in November, when there were some questions about the rules, we saw a significant drop in activity throughout the market as people were preparing themselves for SEF.
Right.
And so I think now we're going to see this thing go.
Right. And what do you expect to come out of the MAP filings? Do you think they'll all be approved?
Well, I expect they will be. You know, it's always it's up to the regulator to decide, but I think the fact that we had the approval today is a sign that the next, I think we might actually be up next in about a week or so, will likely to be approved, and then there's a few more filings, all of which will start to become in effect 30 days after the approval. So yeah, we do expect more to come.
So Lee, you were just having an armchair conversation with Colin Tycolts from Pine River, and one of the observations you made is there's a lot of things going on in the fixed income markets, probably more things than you've ever known in your history of being in the space. So, you know, how is all this going to gel together? Is it all going to go ahead without a hiccup?
I think there's quite a bit of uncertainty, whether it's the macro rate environment that's poised for a change, or it's the implementation of regulation, or the bigger trend that's been happening for the last 15 years, the electronification of different segments of the fixed income market. So we heard discussions on the credit business and some of the changes from the platform and customer perspective. Colin spoke a bit about the mortgage market, what's happening in the mortgage market. We have the treasury market, and then we have the big derivatives issue. So there's really not a part of the market, whether it's regulation, the rate environment, or the actual technology changes happening, that isn't affected this year.
Right.
So I'm sure there will be some interesting challenges that we'll all face as we're trying to confront all these issues at the same time.
And the other, I guess, finally, the point around liquidity, which we think about a lot. We see perhaps some impact negatively in terms of liquidity as the market absorbs these changes. But again, Colin was making the point around seeing these markets move towards more like equity markets, of which the hallmark has been huge amounts of liquidity. What are we looking at here? A 2-year contraction and then an expansion, or what are you thinking?
Well, I think at a high level, the situation is the economics will prevail, meaning if there is insufficient liquidity and pricing increases so that opportunities are presented, it will attract new capital into the marketplace, and we'll find a balance. The real challenge is projecting this transition period. What happens in the transition? How long does it go on for? You know, are there new entrants, or is there just an adjustment to the existing balance that occurs today? I think it's very hard to predict exactly the time frames for all this, but I think the next year to 18 months, we're going to have a very good sense of where things are going.
Awesome. Well, with that, we'll wrap it up. But thanks again, Lee, for a terrific day.
Thank you, Will.
Lee Olesky, from CEO of Tradeweb, and I'm Will Rhode, Director of Fixed Income Research at the TABB Group.